Hi, I'm Paul Faronbi, aka IncrediPaul, and welcome to 6 Minute Saturdays. It's a shorter form of the podcast, same great topics. I dive deeper into specific leadership, career, and business topics. Today, I want to talk to you about business credit and a little bit about building credit history. I started this talk last week when I was talking about just overall credit cards, travel hacking, and the benefits of credit cards. And I realized that some of you may or may not be entrepreneurs, whether you're in STEM or whatever you're doing. And if you are entrepreneurs, business credit is something that you need to be doing. So, right off the bat, if you have a business and you're buying business things, do not, I repeat, do not use your personal credit card for your business. So depending on how your business is set up, there's a lot of different ways it can be set up, whether it's an S Corp, C Corp, LLC, sole proprietorship, whatever it is. When you buy business stuff with your personal stuff, it does not end well for you. There's this concept called piercing the veil. I know if you have an LLC, it's a limited liability company, right? You don't want any of the liabilities from your business to get into your personal side. But if you do not adequately or strategically separate your business from your personal side, and the person who this really only happens if something happens in your business and someone is going after your business or your assets, then they can go after your personal stuff too. So more than likely this will not happen, but the same thing, you never know what can happen. So best to protect yourself as much as possible. So if you have a business, do not use personal stuff from your business as much as possible. Might be one-off cases, but build in systems so you don't do that. So depending on where you are getting your business credit card from, it can go a few different ways. What I've learned is that the easiest place or best place to get a business credit card from, or even just set up business banking, is from a credit union. The amount of stringencies on like the documentation that you need from a credit union is not as much. A lot of other places have minimum balances you have to keep, and then the amount of money you continue to pour into it. If you go with a credit union, it's a lot easier, and you can get business credit, whether it's a line of credit, which is basically like just borrowing money, or a business credit card. You can go either one of those ways. You can also go through those institutions where you normally do your banking, whether it's like the US Bank or Chase Bank, JP Morgan, Chase, all those things. So for me personally, I have business accounts and credit cards set up on the US Bank side and on the credit union side, so like Together Credit Union. So those whatever credit union you use, or maybe if you already a part of credit union, I would go there first to establish it, and then you can also explore some others. If there's certain business lines of credit you want to do, go for it as well. I want to talk briefly about why you want to set up business credit as opposed to putting everything on your personal credit. If you are taking out loans or anything on your personal credit, that is going to affect your credit history, your credit score. So I mentioned on the previous podcast for my credit score is over 800. So I managed it pretty well. I paid my bills on time, all of those things. So some of the things that if you're not as familiar, maybe haven't paid attention to your credit report, that you need to be mindful of is your payment history. So paying your bills on time. When I coach people, I recommend that they put everything on auto pay. If you are not disciplined enough to be able to put everything on auto pay, I would say maybe a credit card is not for you. It is what it is. Also, there's the credit utilization or credit use. So based on how many credit cards you have, lines of credit, whatever it is, this is the amount of money or borrowing power you have. And so you want to keep that. I think the number is like maybe 20%, 10%. I can't remember what the ideal number is. For me, I try to keep it below 10% or 5% most of the time. And then other thing is credit inquiries. So every time you are trying to get a new card, or even like when you have maybe do insurance or auto loans, any of these things, they run a credit check on you. That's called a hard inquiry. So if you have too many inquiries within a year, I think ideally you want to have less than two, three on the high side, because after more than that is gonna affect your credit score a lot more. Even with two or three, it's still gonna ding your credit score, but it'll usually rebound within a couple months, 2 3 months. One key thing is if you are part of American Express, you're a member there, you can add additional cards without any ding on your credit score. So main thing you want to keep in mind is that if you have a business, do not use your personal card, use your business credit card. Business credit does not impact your personal credit at all. So you can have loans on your business side. It's not going to impact your personal credit score. There's this idea of like personally guaranteed a card, which is totally fine, or personally guaranteed a loan. So if you default on a loan, you're going to have to pay it on the personal side, just don't default on it. But really pay attention on the business side and separate your business from your personal so you can be the most incredible version of yourself.